Hey guys, and welcome back to the More on Our podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
Hello, and I am Dan.
He's the other one.
Yeah.
And it's the 3-year special!
Yep, 3
Can you
years.
believe it? We've been doing this shit for 3 years and people still watch it, so we're going to continue. And as always, before we jump into this episode, go ahead and do us a favour and hit that like button. If you find yourself enjoying this one, it really does help us out. We do appreciate it, and it does help to promote the podcast. And promoting the podcast is, of course, what, Dan?
It's sharing 3 years of More on Love.
Exactly. So, I think, as always, we should jump into the More on or Not section, don't you?
Yep, let's go.
Alrighty, the first one on here for the 3-year special is useless gifts. So, something that you give someone as a gift that is utterly useless. Also known as tat.
We had useless tat before,
I think we did, yeah.
which is
Basically the same as useless gifts, really, isn't it?
it is pretty much the same as useless gifts. I mean, there's useless in the name.
Yeah. Have you ever received a useless gift?
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
I was going to say, surely
I
you
can't
must
remember.
have. You must have at some point in your life.
At some point, I've probably received something, but I don't know. I don't really remember the stuff that has been gifted to me at like Christmas and that.
Fair enough. That's just good for me, because it means I don't have to get you anything ever. That's good.
No, it don't matter.
Exactly, you won't remember it anyway. So what we saying? I think I'm going to go moronic, because why would you get someone something that's utterly useless?
I think it is pretty obvious.
I mean, even
Moronic.
if, like, because most things have a use, right? Because, like, even if you just get them, I don't know, like a picture frame, it's then decorative. But, like, so to get someone that's completely useless, actually, what could you
Yeah.
get something that's... What could you get someone that is completely useless, Dan? What do you reckon?
Probably depends on the person.
I'll tell you what, a keyboard that doesn't work.
Oh yeah, I'm sure people have like bought stuff that just hasn't worked before.
No. I'm saying, like, you've made it so it purposefully doesn't work. And you're giving it as a gift.
I think that's more just trolling at
True.
that point.
It's also useless. Actually, just any kind of equipment for something that someone doesn't have. Like, buy someone a camera lens that doesn't have a camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
Buy them a lampshade when they don't have a lamp.
It depends on the person. Like if you buy a tricycle,
Yep.
something like that's pretty useless. Considering if you like
That depends if they have kids or not. If people have kids and they're learning to ride a bike, a trike might be pretty useful.
Yeah, but for most people.
Is the shortened version of a tricycle a trike? Because I know a trike is also a dinosaur. It's a triceratops. So now I'm curious.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, I imagine.
I'm Googling it.
Sure. But either way, it's just a definite moronic.
Yes. Tricycle is... it's commonly referred to as trike. So, although it can be a dinosaur, it can also be a 3-wheeled thing that you ride on like a bike, but with 3 wheels instead.
Cool. Moronic?
Yeah, moronic.
Yeah.
Alright,
Right, what's
annual
next?
celebrations. Now, the best part is, if we say moronic here, we just have to stop these because we've said it's moronic. And all of our like annual celebrations, you know, we've got the Christmas special, sometimes the Halloween special, the year specials.
Well, it's
any other special we want to do?
because if we said moronic, then you know this is technically an annual celebration.
Yeah, it's very true.
The whole point of the podcast is moronic.
It is true. That is why we are called the Moron Hour, because everything we do is at least moronic.
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
I'm going to say not moronic, so that we don't have to stop the whole podcast and just end it here.
Wait, would you go for moronic?
No. Because think about it, you've got Christmas, birthdays, anniversaries,
I'll go not moronic then.
national holidays. They're an annual celebration of some sort.
Yeah, obviously.
So you'd have to, if you said moronic, you'd have to skip out on all bank holidays from now on. Which, I don't know about you, but I don't really want to do. I quite like bank holidays.
Yeah, well, I'll go not moronic.
There. I too am going to say not moronic. Because if we said moronic, this would have happened. So the next thing is celebrations, the chocolates. So the red tin with Bounties, Twixes, Mars bars, Galaxy, Maltesers. What's in the celebrations? Let's have a look. You know what? Let's rank. You know what? Let's rank them while we're here, right? So what we got?
The celebrations. I don't remember all of them.
Okay, right. You know what?
Celebrations.
All right. We got a tier list real quick of celebrations chocolates. So first one, Bounty. What are we saying?
I think this is Bounties are quite underrated.
I love a Bounty. So immediately, I'm saying S or A minimum.
It's not the first thing I go for.
I'd say for me,
I'll definitely have it.
A.
I think A tier, yeah.
Bet. Milky Way.
I can't yet.
Worse than a Bounty, because it is just Mars without the caramel. And if you don't believe me, look it up.
I don't know. I personally would go A above Bounty.
I'm saying B. I'm saying a B for me.
I don't like A.
Let's put it there. We'll put it there because it's in the middle. Galaxy Caramel. I'm going to be honest. This is the worst. I think personally, this is the worst of the two galaxies in here.
Yeah.
I think it's a C tier.
Caramel was an interesting one because I don't know.
I'm saying C tier personally.
It's a bit of a harsh C tier, but
we can put it in B. But I'm saying C tier personally.
Alright, next one.
Alright. Galaxy. Regular.
Minimum B. Minimum.
Yeah. I'd say above a Milky Way, but not above a Bounty.
Yeah, you can do, yeah.
Yeah? Alright. Maltesers. I'm saying above a Bounty here. I might go S tier.
Yeah, I really like them.
I might go S tier because I do like those. All right, Twix. If you disagree with this, you're wrong.
Yeah, that's.
It's going at the top of S tier. If you disagree with us, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Objectively.
Mars.
Mars bar. I quite like a Mars bar. I think it's better than Milky Way because it is literally just a Milky Way with some caramel in it.
I think level with Milky Way.
All right. And then Snickers. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like nuts. I don't like nuts, so it's going in E.
Yeah.
And I've just realised this entire thing has not been in the recording properly. Sod it. There you go, viewers. You can now properly see it. If you're on YouTube anyway. If you were on audio platforms, you wouldn't have noticed anyway. But for audio platform users, I will quickly read them all out so that you guys can tell and disagree in the comments. S tier, we got Twix and Maltesers. A, we got Bounty, Galaxy, Mars, and Milky Way. C, we got Galaxy Caramel. And E, we got Snickers.
Yep.
Right, now that's out of the way, we can go back to our regularly scheduled moronic or not section. So what are we saying?
Well, most of them were in A tier, so
exactly.
I guess not moronic.
Yeah, I'm going to say not moronic because I quite like them. Now, Dan, I got a proper question for you here. Which is better, Heroes or Celebrations?
Oh, Heroes of the Oh, what's in Heroes?
To be honest, I don't actually know. I'm going to Google it right now. Heroes chocolate, right? We're saying. So, actually, this is a tough one, you know. So in Heroes, you've got chocolate eclairs, fudge, whisper, dairy milk, caramel. Well, not dairy milk, caramel, just caramel. You know what I mean. Twirl, and then cream egg twisted.
In my opinion, I hate eclairs.
And a crunchy. How could I possibly forget?
So eclairs are like an E tier. Fudge
Yeah,
is like an A tier.
yeah.
Whisper is A tier. Dairy milk is S tier. Crunchy
You know
B
what?
tier.
Do you know what we're gonna do, Dan?
Double decker. Huh?
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna find another tier
Another
list.
tier list.
I'll be back in a minute,
We're gonna
viewers.
put another one.
As you can see, tier list time. For heroes this time, though. Crunchy, S tier. If you disagree, you're wrong.
Crunchy. Oh,
Dan, I've got a Crunchy on my desk. I'm holding a Crunchy right now. I fucking love
it's
a
a
Crunchy.
generous S. For me, it would be an A tier, but I can understand the S.
S tier, because it's goated. Oh, actually, though, you've got to remember that they're slightly different, though, aren't they, in the heroes box? They're not. It's not a proper Crunchy, is it? It's like
Well,
a dairy. It's a dairy milk. No, not even dairy milk. It's a Cadbury's thing with like chunky bits in it, isn't it? So it's not a proper Crunchy. So I'm moving it down to A tier because it's not a real
I think I
Crunchy.
agree with A.
All right, dairy milk caramel.
I think B. A
Yeah.
B.
Yeah, B.
Yeah, B.
Fudge. I would in
A or
a heroes box. I'm putting it above. I'm putting it in S tier.
Yeah.
Because when you get the longer fudges, they're a bit too rich. But like in a heroes box, you can have the smaller ones and they're fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do love a fudge. Eclairs, D.
D
If you
tier.
disagree, you're wrong. Sorry.
Dairy milk.
Dairy milk. I'm gonna be honest. It's the one I leave that isn't eclairs.
I think for me this is
Although I would
tier.
put it near the caramel. I put it I think I'd put it above the caramel.
For me this would be S tier but below fudge.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. We'll put it in A tier then.
Yeah.
All right. A whisper. Now I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't too privy to a whisper until fairly recently. I say fairly recently, like 3 months ago. But you know,
I think
I think they're quite. I think they're all right.
A tier, but
I'd say above a dairy milk.
yeah, above dairy milk.
All right. 12.
12s are quite nice.
I think they are BTEC flakes though, because they've still got the flaky kind of inside. Do you know what I mean? Like when you bite into it, it still crumbles.
Yeah.
But it's not as good as a flake.
The annoying thing with flakes is that it just goes everywhere.
Yeah. It can with a 12 if you don't eat it.
Well, it doesn't really do that.
Unless you eat
me, sorry, but flakes do taste nicer though.
Oh yeah, flake. You can't beat some vanilla ice cream with a 99 in it. Can't beat it.
I think this is an A above crunchy.
I would go below a crunchy. Actually, no. In the heroes box, above. You are right. I keep forgetting that it's not a proper crunchy. It's like the fake
Because
crunchy.
everything's downscaled.
Yeah, exactly. This is the cream egg twist.
Oh, the cream egg twist one.
Yeah, so it's just a cream egg, but not an egg shape.
That's what they were.
Yeah,
I quite like these.
I think I'd arguably say these are better than cream eggs. I know it's the same thing, but like cream eggs are just like a weird and annoying
cream
shape.
eggs are just really annoying.
Yeah, because you always when you bite into it, your hands get sticky as well from all the inside and sugar. But these, it doesn't because you just eat it whole.
I think it's an A tier.
I'd put it in an A tier, maybe above a crunchy. You know what? Actually, thinking about it, it might go no, actually, no, it can't go above a 12.
I think there.
Yeah, I think here's good. All right, double decker, or what they're known as in Heroes, a dinky decker. The smaller versions. Really?
Very forgettable.
I'm going to. I really like them.
Okay, where would you?
I would say below a whisper, so I'd put it in between whisper and dairy milk.
Can do, but
you know what? You want to downgrade it, so we'll put it as a high or low.
Yeah.
What are we saying?
If you want to go B tier, I don't mind where you.
I would. Actually. Yeah, I'd say there. Right. So for audio listeners, again, I'll quickly run you through this. We got in S tier, we got fudge. A tier, we got twirl, cream egg twister, or twisted, whatever the hell it's actually called. Crunchy, whisper, and dairy milk. In B tier, we got double decker and dairy milk caramel. And then in D tier, we got eclairs because they suck. And just to compare it to our other tier list, as you can see, it's actually quite evenly split. So we got they're quite evenly split. But judging by the tier lists, Celebrations are better. Because we got 2 in S tier and 4 in A, as opposed to 5 and 1.
Yeah.
So I think Celebrations are better than Heroes, judging by this.
You'll probably have to do like, I don't know.
You know what?
And
Chocolate tier list coming next episode, if we haven't already done it in like episode 2, which we probably did.
I mean, the way you would probably find out which one's better if S tier was worth 5 points. And you do like a base system.
You know what? Let's do that. Let's do exactly that. What we're going to do is S tier is 5, A is 4, B is 3, C is 2, D is 1, E is 0. If there is an E, which I know there is in the other one. So in the Heroes tier list, we have got 5 points plus 20 points equals 25, believe it or not. Then we have, then that goes up to 31, and then it goes up to 32. So Heroes got a total of 32, whereas Celebrations received 10 plus a 16 makes 26. C, which is, did I say 2? I think C was 2, wasn't it? Yeah. That makes it to 28. And then E is 0. Interesting. So I was actually wrong. So apparently, Heroes is better, according to the tier list.
How many are in the other one?
I think Heroes have got one more. They've got one more chocolate, so therefore they've ranked 4 points above.
Right, yeah, and was that 9?
What?
So it's 9 in Heroes, 8 in Celebrations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for all you maths wizards, the fairer way to do it that we just can't be asked is do it as a percentage. Score over 45 times 100 for the other one over 40.
I'm going to take your word for it, because I'm not a maths wizard like you. So, yeah, technically, Heroes won this battle, but I still think Celebrations are better.
Cool.
Right. Back to the Moronic or Not section, as we've said about 4 times now. So, you know what? Seeing as we just did some tier lists, that does bring me back, however, to More on Our Podcast episodes 1 through 10, which, by God, is the next one on the Moronic or Not section.
Oh yeah, we said. Did we vote for this one yet?
No, we haven't voted for this one yet.
No,
actually, no. Celebrations, that's true, we didn't. I'm saying not Moronic.
Yeah, we'll go not, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, anyway. More on Our Podcast episodes 1 through 10.
Oh my God, this is Jake and Rob times, isn't it?
Yeah, so Jake and Rob were in the first 4. I don't think they were in episode 5. I might fix that in editing, but...
Yeah, they left at some point.
Yeah, they left pretty early on, and me and Dan have taken the reins ever since.
Yeah, but I think we that was the only time that we had a guest appearance.
Yes, that was episode 8, I believe. Yeah, that's true. But what I will say is we would still try and we were just starting up, if you know what I mean. So we were still trying to understand what we would do. I think we're much more evolved now, and we're less awkward. Because if you listen to the first few episodes, I'll tell you what, we sound so awkward. Because we're trying to force a conversation, right? Unlike nowadays, where we're just chatting absolute nonsense about whatever.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the titles. Jake reveals his strange routine.
He is strange, so that does make sense.
Going upon that, though, what was his strange routine?
Honestly, mate, couldn't tell you. It was 3 years ago. Can you remember a conversation we had 3 years ago? Because I fucking can't.
No.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So, viewers, go back and watch the episode if you as well can't remember. Go back and watch the episode. Do it.
Yeah, we're gonna say though.
No, we're running through all these titles and we're gonna see how good they are. Right, one sec. Let me pull up the channel. Viewers, I won't be doing this for you because plain and simple, I can't be bothered. Right then, episode 1, Humble Beginnings. That's a good title because it was our humble beginnings. Episode 2, Morons Will Be Morons. I'm gonna be honest. The early titles again, you could tell we were new to YouTube. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Random assaultments. Technically, we weren't wrong. There was a lot of random assaultments in that episode.
That's probably my favourite one yet.
We're back again, which was, funnily enough, we weren't back. Yep. Jake reveals his strange routine. I can't remember what his strange routine was.
It was something that wasn't very strange, but
probably.
I don't know.
Then our first ever Christmas special. Then it was the New Year special. Then it was our first guest. Then it was conspiracies.
This is when we started rambling on about conspiracies.
Yeah, episode 9 was random conspiracies. Not to be confused with Conspiracies on the Moron Hour, coming soon. Well, I say coming soon. Another one is coming soon. If you guys, by the way, if you guys aren't listening to that, what are you doing? Find it on our channel and listen to it. They're actually bangers.
I feel like some episodes are just conspiracy based. Before the conspiracy.
Oh yeah.
The conspiracy section started up.
Yeah.
There was that one and Existential Crisis.
Oh yeah, the Existential Crisis was an interesting one. That was episode 18, I want to say. Yeah, episode 18, Existential Crisis. Oh yeah, episode 10 was our new recording location. That was an interesting one.
I remember it.
That one was where we talked about Mongolia for a little bit.
Oh, the Mongolia one.
Yeah, that was a Mongolian special. I think anyway.
Special.
I could be very wrong then, but I'm pretty sure that was it. And then so that was our first 10 months of starting up the Moron Hour, early doors. I'm going to be honest, it was very scuffed because, again, we didn't really know what we were doing. We didn't have, a theme for this podcast. Arguably, we still don't. We got conspiracies now, we're slowly evolving.
Most of our podcast is just improv.
That's literally what the podcast is. Viewers, just by the way, for complete transparency here, we literally turn up and go, right, what are we discussing? You got topics? Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll just run with it and hope that it sounds okay. And then when I'm editing, if something sounds crap, I cut it out. Which doesn't actually happen that often because we talk about a lot of random crap that's somewhat interesting to someone.
Yeah, but going back to voting, what were you going for?
I'm going to say moronic for a few reasons. Number one, we didn't know what we were doing, and it was very scuffed and awkward and just kind of shit because Jake and Rob were there.
Yeah.
And two, the logo was not ideal. That was like, I don't even remember how I got that logo, if I'm brutally honest. I think I just went on some random logo generator, typed in our thing, and it pooped that out. And we just ran with it for the time being. I mean, obviously now we've got our amazing new logo, which I did on Microsoft Paint, because for those of you who don't know, for some reason I'm a wizard on Microsoft Paint. But yeah, for those reasons, I'm going to say moronic.
Yeah,
surprisingly.
I agree.
Anything you want to add, or just kind of agree with mine?
I think you've sort of summed it up well.
As I always do. Alright. We're not moving on to summary yet, though. We've got one more moronic on our section for this episode, for the 3-year special. It is raves.
Raves?
Yep. So, stupidly loud music to the point where you can't hear, and it just ruins your eardrums. Lots of certain beverages that may or may not be alcoholic. Blaring lights that would give an epileptic a seizure.
Oh yeah, they go from 9 PM to 4 o'clock in the morning.
But interestingly, I've never been to one because I'm boring, and I also just don't see the appeal in it at all. So
yeah, no, I've
never been to one, so I have no idea what they're like. I'm just assuming, from what I've seen of Instagram videos, and just shitty films, really.
But do you remember the Area 51 raid where they said they were going to raid Area 51, but then they just had a massive rave instead?
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
speaking of Area
reminds me
51, people keep an eye out for conspiracies late this month. It may or may not be on that very topic.
Yeah,
If not, it'll be the week. It'll be the
that one
month after.
coming up soon. Yeah.
Yeah, coming soon to a podcast near you. But
What was the
raves,
topic? Oh, raves. That was it.
casually forgetting what we're talking about,
Yeah,
which
just
happens a
very
lot on this
casually
podcast.
forgot it. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I would say moronic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for moronic as well.
Okay, we'll wrap
So
up time.
it is indeed the wrap up. So useless gifts, moronic. Annual celebrations, not moronic. Celebrations chocolates, not moronic. More on our podcast episodes 1 through 10, moronic. Raves, moronic.
That's
I
a
think in all of
decent
our
weapon,
3
moronic.
years, I think that might be the most moronics we've had in one moronic or not
It's like
section.
3. Yeah, usually it's just 1 normally.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But this time we had what? 1, 2, 3. We had 3.
It was like 3. Yeah.
It feels like we had more, but then again, we were talking for quite a while. So,
Oh yeah.
alright.
Yeah.
But seeing as we're on a podcast, and it has been 3 years since we began it,
Yeah.
would you like to know where the word podcast comes from? Out of
Might as
morbid
well.
curiosity, because, you know, we've been doing this for 3 years, we should probably know where it actually came from.
Might as well.
Alrighty. So, where do you know what? Let me ask you this. Where do you think it came from?
I would have no idea.
Take any old guess.
Or where in the world it came from.
No. Like, how the word came about. Because I can tell you now, it's definitely not, what I'm about to say is not what you're expecting.
No, God, tell me. I would have no idea.
Alrighty, so since the iPod has become obsolete, there's no reason for people people of the future to piece together where the word podcast came from. But I will do it here for you. So it came from the word iPod, you know, the original iPod, plus the word broadcast. But the even crazier thing about podcast outliving its conceptual origins is that the exact same thing already happened with the word broadcast, which basically used to refer to an agricultural technique of widely dispersing seeds on the ground, right? But then that got abstracted as a metaphor for widely dispersing information to the public, and then about 100 or so years later, it got turned into the word podcast because the iPod came out. But it gets even crazier because basically the word pod in iPod, obviously the I is Apple's kind of thing, but the word pod was basically in reference to a scene from the 2001 film Space Odyssey, where the main character says, "Open the pod bay doors, Hal." And the pod bay doors in question were named so because of their visual similarity to biological plant pods, like you see on peas and stuff. Which are basically just vessels for carrying seeds. So somehow the word podcast traces back to a word for something that carries seeds and dispersing seeds.
Okay.
So by that definition, we're farmers. So we are farmers this episode. Well, I guess we have been for the past 3 years. That's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Sort of get like the iPod thing, podcast, but then when it took a rather agricultural turn, then
yeah, man. So all you farmers out there that I have no doubt are definitely listening. Yeah, you are podcasters technically. We're actually not. We're farmers. You're not podcasters. Would you classify us as podcasters nowadays, Dan? We've been doing it for 3 years. I'd say so.
Well, it's technically a podcast.
Is it? We've been doing a podcast for 3 years. I hadn't bloody noticed. But
I mean, it's just talking into a mic for an hour.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that a lot anyway, but it's more of just we're now posting it online because.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know why I genuinely can't remember why we started this. I think we were just bored during COVID and we're like, fuck it, let's start a podcast.
Yeah, it was a COVID thing, wasn't it?
And then we just kind of, I think we used it as a way to stay in touch after we left secondary school.
Which kind of worked until...
It worked for about 3 months and then Jake and Rob left. And then me and Dan have been carrying the torch ever since. Yeah. Which
But,
actually, speaking of, I bumped into
Yeah.
Rob the other day on the bus.
Oh right.
So I was coming
how-
home. So I was coming home from lunch. And yeah, I got on the bus to come home, and I kid you not, Rob was sat on the bus. He's still alive, viewers, for those who are interested. I don't know about Jake though. I honestly not sure if he's alive or not. Yeah, Rob is.
Well, but moving on though, I've sort of keeping with the theme of oldness, age, I guess, because obviously
Right.
3 years,
Yeah.
technically quite old, right? So
Depends on your meaning, but yeah.
it's not as old as this guy that I found.
Is
So
he 118?
close.
Ah, if I guess
So
that
this
spot
guy,
on.
as of 4th of Feb 2022, this guy's name is Juan Vicente Mora.
Definitely butchered it, as always, the Born Hour
Yeah.
classic.
So he was born 27th of May 1909. So lived through 2 world wars pretty much.
Woof.
112 years old, and he's the oldest man alive.
The only guy to ever see 3 monarchs of the UK, I think. Could be wrong about that one.
Well, he lives in Bolivia. Oh no, he lives in Venezuela. It's San Jose de Bolivar.
Yeah,
Which
definitely
is,
not then.
yeah. Yeah. For context, the year that he was born, 1909, that's when the Titanic was starting to be constructed.
Hell yeah.
To date, though, this man is nicknamed El Tio, which is he's called the Uncle, which is a bit of an odd name considering that he has 18 grandchildren and 41 great grandchildren and 12 great great grandchildren.
Is he an uncle, however? Because if he's not, the name doesn't fit at all.
I mean, he might be an uncle, but it's just a bit of an odd nickname. I don't know
Yeah.
why you would call someone the uncle. Like a better nickname would be the great great grandfather or something like that.
Or just the grandfather.
Next person, Sister Andre, aka Lucille Randon. Alright. So you
Right?
said 118 years a
Yep.
bit earlier. She is 118 years.
I got it right. I was definitely talking about her and not the other
So
guy.
she's the oldest living woman.
Isn't this
much.
woman from like Indonesia or something? I might have seen this.
Fuck, when was that? I don't know.
Fair enough.
But yeah, she's the oldest nun and the oldest survivor of COVID-19.
Oh, she survived it. Yeah, well, fair play to her.
Yeah. And she's residing in a nursing home in France. So I think she might be French.
She's
but
French. Oh,
I think so. I don't know.
very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, age is a weird thing, right? Because like, we do just kind of make it up. Because like we just set up rules like, oh, you can't buy certain things till you're 18. But like, who decided 18 and at what point in history? You know?
Well, I guess with drinking, it's.
Which also, by the way, this has just reminded me of something. I don't know why. But you know the term midlife crisis?
Yeah.
Because life expectancy is something like 79 or 80 or something like that, right? The midlife crisis doesn't happen at like 50. It happens at like it happens like late 30s. Well, it technically should anyway, because that's technically the midpoint of your life, depending on your life expectancy. But like, it's weird that you call it a midlife crisis when it happens nearer the end of your life than the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
well, depending on how long you live, obviously.
Going back to the point with age, and I think it's like a man-made construct. Because obviously with like alcohol and that, your liver strengthens like from
As for
when you were
most
born
things in your body.
and to when you get older. So obviously they 18 is around the time where you can sort of tolerate a decent whack of alcohol.
Yeah.
It's obviously you need to draw the line somewhere, right?
Mm.
It's probably going to be different for most people, but I don't know. There just needs to be like a not universal, but a, a sort of limit where you're allowed to drink alcohol. I don't know, it's probably the easiest way to regulate it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. Which actually, speaking
Yeah.
of alcohol, day drinking, right? Generally
Day
frowned
drink.
upon. Generally frowned upon within society, right?
Well, I don't know.
Generally frowned upon.
I mean, not in the UK.
Yeah, true. But if you activate an outdoor cooking sauce when it's sunny, at least in the UK, others will gladly join in and not ask any questions. So day drinking is bad unless there's a cooking sauce nearby, in which case it's perfectly acceptable.
I think
Or
it's
you're in
just
an
like
airport.
there's an excuse.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, by the way, the amount of barbecues that no one's had this summer because the summer has been shit.
Oh yeah, the rain last week.
Like, it's been rainy, it's been cold. I've genuinely worn a jacket to work. It's July, for crying out loud.
Oh no.
Like, I should be sweltering. I shouldn't have to have a jacket nearby. Rain, that's a fairly common thing in the UK, even during summer. But not like that.
Unless you're in Australia, like if you're gonna boil an egg, right? You don't need to do it over a barbecue. You just put the egg on the floor and it just does it itself.
Didn't someone actually try... Didn't a YouTuber try
I
that at
think
one
they
point and
did.
it didn't work?
Yeah, someone like boiled an egg. Just they don't put it outside on the floor of their house and it just boil.
I know someone tried to fry an egg on their car and it just obviously didn't work because, you know, why would it?
Well, in Australia, it's like 40-degree heat or something stupid like
Is
that.
that centigrade or Fahrenheit?
It's just in a centigrade. It's in Celsius, yeah.
Centigrade, Celsius, same diff. I'll tell you what, by the way, Fahrenheit, if you use Fahrenheit, just why? It doesn't make any sense. Like, 0 is actually 35. Or something like that, anyway.
Oh, but
Like,
for those interested, the temperature in Canberra at the moment is 2 degrees Celsius, considering that it's night time over there.
that's actually alright. I mean, it's technically winter for them, though, right, at the moment? Because seasons are flipped.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
What was I going? Oh yeah. What is 0 centigrade in Fahrenheit? Yeah, 0 degrees Celsius is 32 Fahrenheit. And boiling point, which is 100 degrees Celsius, at least for water anyway, is 212. Who came up with this and why?
Have you seen no, but like the temperatures in Saudi Arabia have been mental.
How so?
Right. There's 44 degrees Celsius over there, 46 degrees Celsius over there.
Wow, crazy.
Got any topics?
Bloody hell, we've hit 3 years, ladies and gents, and we just sat here like fucking hell. Got any topics? I don't know anymore. We're on episode 36. It's not even like we've been doing like one a week for 3 years. We've done one a month. Actually, no, we've been increasing them slowly because we've been doing conspiracies.
Oh yeah, we did start with one a week, didn't we?
I mean, we said we were going to try, and then I put in the group chat saying like, "Oh lads, you free to record this weekend?" No one responded. So
Oh yeah, no one would reply.
so that fucking died, and we went to one a month because it was slightly more easier to manage. Which I've realised, by the way, we've now gone to we've gone with 2 a month because obviously we've got conspiracies as well. Which, if you aren't checking it out, what is wrong with you? But it's kind of like eventually we might end up going back to weekly, but with different things.
All right.
So instead of like, you know, just the More on Our podcast every week, that's it. It'll be like conspiracies. It'll be the main. Then we'll have maybe 2 others at some point doing something. No idea what or when that might start, but who knows? Maybe by year 5 we'll be
Year 5.
you know what I mean? Maybe by like the 5-year anniversary of the More on Our, we will have 2 more things. Who knows?
Yeah, hopefully.
It would be quite nice to do.
Jake
Yeah.
and Rob back.
No, they're never. Honestly, viewers, you know what? A bit of transparency here. we did try and get Jake and Rob back. Honestly, we did try and get them back for this episode. As in, when I say that, I messaged them and they basically said, maybe, maybe not, I'm busy. Coincidentally, in case you hadn't noticed, they're not here. So, yeah, no, they're probably never coming back. Let's be honest. Which, honestly, I think we've done alright without them. I mean, our views have increased, so that's a good thing.
Do you remember the episode where you were absent and I was just stuck?
Oh, Christ. The thing is, I had to edit that one, because obviously I edit all of these, right?
Yeah.
So I had to edit that back in the early days, and I tell you what, it was the most boring thing. I was genuinely sat there like, can I turn... You know when, like, a TV show's on, ladies and gents, and, like, you just want to turn it off because you're just not interested. It's like, just turn this shit off. Or you're, like, watching a YouTube video and you just keep pausing it because it's that boring, and you just keep scrolling on Instagram or whatever, right? It was like that. I was genuinely sat... It took me so long to try and edit that because it was just so boring.
Yeah.
Which thankfully doesn't happen very often nowadays. It's happened once or twice with our modern episodes. But that's only because we end up in a situation where we don't have topics. So we just kind of sat here like, so what's the news saying? Like, we just sat here doing nothing. We're just trying to figure out topics as we go. But generally we try and keep on top of it. Yeah, no, Jake and Rob never coming back. So maybe as guests at some point in future. Maybe for the 5-year special, who knows. But to be fair, I think we should try and get someone else on the podcast. Whether it be a guest, whether it be a new host, we don't know. So, viewers, there is still a link in the description, as there always will be, and always has been. Go in the description, there is a link to become a guest on the Moron Hour. Just fill in the form. It's very easy, very simple. And we will basically... we'll just message you on there on your preferred contact method. And hopefully you'll be able to come on, because, it's always nice to have guests on the podcast. While we've been talking about episodes 1 through 10, going back to our Moron Economics section ever so slightly here. Here, you know what, viewers, just so you can understand the awkwardness of those early episodes, here are the intros of every single episode of 1 through 10 since... episodes 1 through 10... Listen to the intros on how they've evolved. You'll see.
Hello people, welcome to the More Now podcast, episode 1. This is the first ever episode. So today we have myself, we have Dan. Say hi, Dan.
Hi.
We got Jake.
Hello, I am here.
And we got Rob.
Hello.
Hello people, welcome back to episode 2 of the More Now podcast. First things first, we apologise for the 2-week break we took. That happened due to some technical difficulties with the audio. So we do apologise about that, but it should be sorted by now. It is, seen as this is episode 2 and episode 1 has already gone out, so that was very stupid. Anyway, Rob is not here today, so we still have myself, Dan, and Jake. Say hi, lads.
Hi people.
Hello there.
To More Now podcast. This is episode 3 now. So welcome back. Today we've got myself, Dan, Jake and Rob. So we're all here. Unlike last week, but we've sorted that. Say hi everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi.
Lovely.
Hello people and welcome back to the More Than Hour podcast. This is episode 4, I do believe. Just a quick notice, Zach isn't here because he is at football, from what I can tell. So I am stuck with Rob and Jake. Say hello, you two.
Hello, please press an F in chat for Zach.
And Jake, you there?
Oh, you don't have to if you don't wanna. I'm not personally not going to press F.
Hello people. Welcome back to the More Now podcast. I am back from the football match. Well, yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago for you guys, but it's been a couple of weeks for us as well.
So today Rob is not here, so we've got me, Dan, and Jake. Say hi, lads. Hi. Hello, people. Welcome back to the More Hour podcast. This is the Christmas special, the first of many, hopefully, of the Christmas specials. We've got a couple of things to talk about. They're going to be generally Christmas themed. So if you're not listening to this around Christmas time, it will be Christmas themed. So you might be in a Christmas mood after it. So yeah, that might be a thing. Okay, right. Let's get straight into it. Today, Rob is not here. We've got Jake and Dan as our co-hosts.
Hi.
Always. Hello, people. Welcome back. This is the first podcast of the new year. Hope you all had a great Christmas, great New Year's. We didn't really do anything special. Well, not to my knowledge anyway. It is just me and Dan today. The first duo episode of the podcast. And probably the last. We don't know how well it's going to go. We don't know how poorly it's going to go. So we're going to test it out. We do apologise for the echo in the last episode. Hello, people. Welcome back. This is episode 8, I do believe. And this time we have a guest, Mr. Lankington. So that is good. We have a guest now. The first guest of hopefully many.
Oh, your first guest?
Yes, you are our first guest on the podcast.
What an honour.
We know him. Some of you might know him. Some of you won't. Some of you will. That's just the way it is. So, hello, people. Welcome back. This is episode 9 now of the More An Hour podcast. Today it's just me and Dan, because Jake and Rob have cancelled, as always. We'll just jump straight into it, because why not? With the moronic or not section. Hello, people. Welcome back. This is episode 10 now of the More An Hour podcast. I'm here with Dan today.
Hello.
Because Jake and Rob are once again not here. Shocker there. Hopefully we'll get them in the next episode or two. Yeah, we say that. They're probably not going to turn up. You never know.
No, then.
They are bloody awkward, in case you hadn't guessed. I mean, obviously everyone just heard them. Obviously we haven't because, well, we're recording this, so, you know, not a thing for us. But yeah, no, very awkward. So please go back and watch them and laugh at us. Bump up the views a bit, and, you know, even just laugh at us in the comments. Because why not? Because it was awkward. We'll admit that. And you know what? Because we've been talking about the intros, I think it's a good time to put the outro in. Wouldn't you?
Yep.
So, if you guys have enjoyed the video, as always, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to see more like this, you can go ahead and subscribe. And we will see you next month. Well, actually, later this month for Conspiracies on the More An Hour.
Oh, yeah. See ya.
Bye.